like to welcome you back to another Green Room session. My name is Paul Goodnight, and I'm one of the pastors here at Reston Bible Church, and Erik Palmer is our worship leader and serves in that capacity and has for some time. Behind the screen over there, you can't see him, but is the Magic Man, Jason Van Dorsten. And back after many, many months away is Jesse Trask. And you know, many people believe that Jesse was banned from this because the last time he showed up, he had this look on his face. And so a lot of people thought that perhaps he was just bored with the conversation because after all, he did kind of look like my daughter looks when I ask her to clean her room. But what you couldn't tell was that off to the side, there was the music stand that he was looking at had all the words, and he was actually still trying to learn the song before they had to play it. But we're glad to have Jesse back. And Jesse and Erik and several of the musicians here from Reston Bible Church just got back from Brazil where they were serving down there. And I just wanted to hear from you, Jesse, kind of like the highlight of your time down there.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a joy to go down there and to just worship with the people. And they just have a sense of freedom that we can sort of tell, you know, that they're not really they don't really care who's looking or what, but they just have a freedom to worship God. And there's actually a verse that kind of became the theme a little bit for three of us. I'm going to read it for you. It's Psalm 149, 3 and 4. Let them praise his name with dancing, making melody to him with tambourine and the lyre. For the Lord takes pleasure in his people. He adorns the humble with salvation. So there's just a sense of worship in that verse, and it also mentions being humble, and the Lord blesses that. And it's a little bit of a challenge to stay humble down there when you have a lot of people giving you praise when really you're trying to point towards Christ and make him the evident reason of why we're there.
In their kind of their expressiveness and their praise, did that free you up in some ways, as in leading worship?
Yeah, it really does. We're able to. It's sort of a back and forth kind of conversation. When their response is like that, we respond with more freedom and leading, and it's really refreshing.
Yeah, I imagine it really is. Erik, from your time down there, most people at RBC know that we have, a lot of extended staff that work all around the world, all the missionaries that we support, and certainly the opportunity to be involved with them. Tell me, kind of from your perspective, being able to partner with Open Arms Brazil and be a part of that, what did it do for you?
Yeah, this is the second time we've gone down there. Mike Myers, who started that ministry about 8 years ago, I guess. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him for years, but here, you get a newsletter or you get emails about what's going on there, and really what they do is they have programs for the kids in the city there to be able to have sort of gospel-centered place to play soccer or just to be, because there's so much other horrible stuff going on in that part of the world, drugs and things like that. So for Mike and his ministry, it's to create an outpost for every child in the city can actually walk to. So for us, it's humbling to go there and just kind of see the work being done and to hang out with some of the kids and just to see where they get to interact and sing praise songs and have just a positive environment to be able to grow up, because a lot of the kids that are there from a very young age are thrown into situations that they should never be put into. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting to me now with Mike, because he was there 8 years ago with some of these 9-10-year-old kids who are now graduating from high school and are living lives for Christ, that he's able to see that and be emotional really about seeing them at a restaurant, like, oh, hey, I remember me from 8 years ago. And he's like, yeah, that's incredible, So to be able to see it firsthand is an incredible blessing. I think the idea is that we go down there and we do a concert and we're sort of a blessing to people. But I think, speaking for Jesse, but I think we come back feeling like we were really blessed by the people there. And like he was saying, like the freedom of expression is so contagious in that environment. It's just like something that I'd love to see us grow in. And it's not an RBC thing. It's an America thing. It's just something that holds us back a little more, and we'd love to see that lifted. So.
You have any new Portuguese words you want to drop on us?
I don't do the Portuguese thing. Jesse knows more than me. I I can order food, I can order gum, things like that.
The essentials.
But when it comes to like, he can sit down and like figure out what someone's saying. I can't. I don't even try.
I learned how to say, please speak very slow.
Just keep repeating that over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, we got a new song you're going to introduce to the congregation called "Closer," and I want to know from your perspective, when you came across the song and heard it, what about this song grabbed you to say, I want this to be part of the worship experience for the people of Reston Bible Church?
Yeah, I think its core is very representative of who we are as a church and our mission to know Christ and make Him known. That's who we want to be as a church. Mm-hmm. So we're telling the world that we want to know Christ more and more, and this song really is about being closer and closer to our Lord, and not just going through the motions and being a better Christian or a better person, but actually reaching out, like striving to actually know Him more, to know Him better, mm-hmm. and to receive the love that He has for us, and just to continue to be proactive about that relationship, and not just sitting on your hands and going through the everyday, but really reaching out to experience God in new ways. And I think as a church, it's great to be able to celebrate things together. There's a reason that's our mission statement. We want to see Christ known more here in this building and around the world. And when we come back from Brazil and we see the work going on, it's incredible to be able to sing about just how much we want to know our Creator more and more every day.
I think that that's one of the main things that the Christian life is about, is just knowing God and knowing Christ, and then He will do the change in us. And it's not about our works, or how well we're pursuing Him, but just how well we know Him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're talks about Philippians, that I may know Him in the power of His resurrection and fellowship of His suffering, and being made conformable even to His death. That idea of moving closer and closer, and that intimacy in Him. And the song you guys are getting ready to do for us really does, introduce that idea and reminds us and pushes us towards that idea of recognizing that, we want to draw closer, and we draw near to Him, He draws near to us. So again, you've picked out a great song with a great tune. All of us will be singing this one over and over. And so thanks again for your diligence.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Reaching out, here in your presence, we want to go deeper in your light, come alive. There is no one beside you. You alone are enough. Fling the doors of your heart wide open. We are lost in your love. Closer and closer, we want to know you. Reaching out, here in your presence, we want to go deeper in your light. Come alive, closer and closer. find belonging. Your love is all that can satisfy. To you we will come running. In you we find belonging. Your love is all that can satisfy. Come running, in you we find belonging. Your love is all that can satisfy. Oh, to you we will come running, in you we find belonging. Your love is all that can satisfy. We want to know you, reaching out, here in your presence. We want to go deeper in your light. Come alive. Yeah. Is that purified drinking water? Huh?
Straight out of a mountain stream.